Alright, everybody, so let's talk about Masters of the Universe. The new movie, the reboot, whatever you want to call it, has been delayed. They're not looking into making it right now. But Kevin Smith is going to be bringing us Masters of the Universe Revelation, which is supposed to pick up after the original series went off the air and continue the story. Well, the thing is, those stories back then, they didn't really have too much story to them. They were basically to sell the toys. The one that came out in the early 2000s was more of a story based, and I thought it was a fucking great series. I love the 2000 version of it. But the thing is, I grew up a huge He-Man Masters of the Universe fan. I had every fucking figure, with probably the exception of Fakor. He was the only one I didn't have. But the thing is, I've been waiting for a reboot. I've been waiting for just a new version of this movie for so damn long. I am a big guilty pleasure fan of the original Masters of the Universe, the one in '87 with Dolph Lundgren. A lot of people base it on like a Star Wars movie and everything, but I'm a big fan of that movie, and I know it's campy, it's corny, but it is, to me, one of my favorite movies of all time. Now the question is, with this reboot, we've went through some, a lot of people have thrown out their ideas of who should play, He-Man, who should play Skeletor, all that. I'm not big into fan casting, so I'm not going to go into it. I know Chris Hemsworth was one of the ones. I can't remember. I think his last name is Lutz or something. Was also, presented for He-Man. But the last guy today we're going to have as He-Man fucking looked awful. Didn't look like He-Man whatsoever. But the thing is, what kind of He-Man do you think we're going to get? Are we going to get a gritty type movie, kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like maybe like this last Power Rangers movie was, where it was more grounded, which was great. I wouldn't mind a dark and gritty version of this movie. Or are we going to get, last I heard, that we're going to get a more like Game of Thrones type He-Man, and I'd be all right with that. I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones fan. It's all right. I watched the first season. I'm not really into it, but the thing is, that's kind of where I wouldn't mind seeing it. I would like to see them actually do Skeletor right, show like an origin of how he became, because that's one thing I liked about the 2000 cartoon, was they showed his origin. And then of course, you got some ideas out there that people have of how a live action version of it would look, and they could get some great casting probably for this movie. I'm not going to go sit there and say, hey, let's go out and get all these big named actors. No, keep it low budget. Get some good actors, people who can act, but play the character well. Spend your money on, I think, a good He-Man and maybe and definitely a good Skeletor. That is where the money needs to go. And for the love of God, even though I wasn't a big Orko fan in the original, put Orko in the goddamn movie, because he's part of the fucking series. He belongs there. And actually put the villains that were in the original series, the Triclops, the Trapjaw, Beast, they just need to really make it good, make it grounded, and make it a really good movie. And that's kind of where I am on this. And hopefully we'll get some more news here soon on a He-Man reboot, and maybe some casting and everything. I know they're thinking about it, so let's hope on that. Leave your comments in the box below. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And that has been Masters of the Universe news for you guys.